Bonus
So,
episode.
yeah, how we're doing our inaugural Dialog Trees Game of the Year
First off, though,
picks.
thank you for staying with us, you sexy people listening to this. I know you're listening. You're the cool ones. Now the losers are gone.
Thanks a lot, Paul. No, Paul's there. Paul's of course going to be here. Paul's our number one stan. But what we're doing is we said instead of picking games that launched in 2020, we are picking games that
We played in 2020.
Played in 2020. So this excludes returning to a game that we love. So if I was to come back to Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time, and that means return because I've played those games many times, doesn't count. But if I were to have experienced it for the first time this year, that counts. And then we also said, say you started a game last year or 2 years ago, put it down, like got through the prologue or something, tutorial, and then came back to it this year, that does count because you experienced and fell in love with the game this year. So we're very fast and loose with it, but it's more about celebrating what we thought was wonderful and enjoyed this year. So Aaron, this was your idea, and because you were also just talking about the Game Awards 2020, let's hear your picks, or at least your contenders.
First off, this is sponsored by Swim Swims. Please buy it. It's not released yet, but please buy it. This is also sponsored by Sonic Speed and Dialog Trees. So
Sponsoring our own. Let's host our own Game Awards show. It's
Just get ready for the most hyped game of 2021. That's coming up later.
So honestly, like every game I've played this year, I think like I've loved. So like a big one for me, Bruce, you already know this.
Some of what you played.
Papers, Please. Such a beautifully crafted game that's so simple but so stressful, and Georgie is my boy. Georgie is everyone's boy, and
Potato boy.
I understand.
really, you could really look at that game without any like sort of political leanings and walk away from it with like 1,000 different messages to say. Like one person will look at it and be like, it's a critique of bureaucracy. Another person's going to be like, this is totally about how shitty the communist regime was. And like, there's so many ways you could take that whole
And
thing.
then there's
It's
me
so
that's like,
cool.
I just want to support my country. I'm gonna fucking kick out everyone.
Yep.
I totally did not play that game how it was meant to be, and I apologize to all
Is
the.
there a way to play a game?
Yeah, this is supposed to be like an art game where you're supposed to feel bad for like not letting in the person that's gonna get murdered if you kick them out. And I was like, nope, you don't have the right passport. Get out of here.
You're just so excited to grab that rejected stamp every time. Just bam, baby.
Or the person that was like, hey, this dude that's coming in later, I'm pretty yeah, that was also pretty fun. Or like the girl that's like, hey, if this guy comes in later, like, please reject him. I'm pretty sure he's going to kill me and a bunch of people. And he comes in and I'm like, okay, show me your paperwork. Well, this all checks out, so, like, you're fucking free to go. Newspaper next day, 4 people are dead. Like, oh, well, you know what? It's not my fault. His papers are
exactly.
good.
Yeah. But the fact that it has that even like mental quandary of like, well, is it really my fault that this person did it? And, I was just doing my job. I think that's so interesting in terms of like what the game managed to make you do. And it's still like untouched as far as I'm concerned in that field.
And it's like such a simple game though, but it does so much. And like we need more of that. More game developers need to.
We're working on that.
I know. Like, the people were like fucking stick figures pretty much. But who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt the game. So that is like one of my bigger game of the years. Another one.
Included ray tracing for Papers, Please.
Another big one is Among Us. Bruce, I know I've played that a lot with you. Obviously, that's a game that it's as good as the people you play it with. So when you have dipshits sitting there saying, "Oh, fucking soul read, it's totally this person," and they vote them out instead of using any fucking logic, it kind of hurts the game. But it's still
My
fun
soul
sitting
reads
there.
work.
It's still fun sitting there trying to be a detective, doing your tasks. It's, again, a simple game that's just so good.
Yeah.
I think most of the games that are probably my game of the year are simple. Phasmophobia was another big one that came out this year. Again, though, that's as good as the people that you play with, because the game's scary for like your first 5 matches. Then after that, it's me running in there like, I don't give a fuck if the ghost kills me. Fucking bring it on, daddy. So playing with friends that, you know, just while you're trying to get the ghost to write in a book, or carrying every single piece of equipment, filling up a fucking laundry room so you can't even see the fucking book that you're looking for writing in. Stuff like that is fun.
I remember that happening.
Yeah. They're like, oh, there's sanity pills in there. Where, guys? I don't see them. They're on the floor. Guys, I can't see the floor. Well, that's not our problem. And then afterwards, oh yeah, well, we each took sanity pills. Like, well, I took one earlier, so there wasn't any in there. Oh, fuck you guys. What else? I don't want to put this on here, but the soundtrack was pretty dope and the game looks really good. Genshin Impact. I know it's a gacha game. I don't want to have a gacha game on the list, but the game is gorgeous. And the music is awesome. And it's just a
Like,
nice, relaxing game.
let's not ignore that, like, it does what it does really well.
Yes.
And gets people to spend a lot of money on...
Yes.
Who's the fire guy? Who's the one that has like the fire attacks that's like the best?
Axel, Kingdom Hearts.
No.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. I think it starts with a K or an R.
I'm gonna get over to your
the
house
Lord
and
of
pitch you out a window.
What else? Fall Guys. Oh.
So you got like I think you got like
I
a
have,
list
like,
of 5
yeah,
that we'll give you.
Okay. Is this my last one?
We'll give you.
You have to pick one.
Yeah. So do you want to stick to Fall Guys?
Yeah. Oh, do I? Yeah, I'll stick to Fall Guys because that was a game that honestly I was hyped for since like last E3. I saw a trailer. I'm like, that's actually dope. Like a just nice, simple party game kind of battle royale. You know, where you're not shooting people and building towers high into the sky. So I was actually kind of upset when like the game took off because it's like this is my game. I was hyped for this and now everyone's hyped for it. I was
dressed up as a bee for minute 1.
I was the first fan for this game. But no, it's a fun game. Like again, it has good sound design just like all these other games actually. It's just a nice simple fun game to play and, you know, to have people hold you so you get hit by everything and fall off and waste 30 minutes of your life playing and just hating your life. Yeah. And then
What you got to do to get that down.
yeah. And then if I'm picking like out of those 5, like my overall game of the year, I'm going to stick with Papers, Please, just cuz like that was just such a good experience. And I went into that like I looked up how long it would be to beat it. Said 4 hours, like okay, that's not bad. Didn't even beat it in 4 hours cuz I was shit at the fucking game. Killed off my family by like day 7. Had to restart it, and then it took me a whole another day to play it, but no, it was just a beautiful experience, and I love shooting people and, like, helping my country, and then helping my country by going back and be like, hey, these guys gave me secret documents, and my country's like, hey, you're going to the gulag. Like, oh, okay. Thank you.
Hey.
So when you're
Nice.
shooting, Papers, Please, Warzone.
Papers, Please, Battle Royale.
My
Okay,
gosh, yes.
You know, I can respect that choice. Brayden, if you don't mind, I would like to go next because I know you have played the most amount of games this year.
Yeah, I saw your list the other day. I'm like, what the fuck?
I have had a lot of free time. Let me just tell you.
Yeah. So
Not only have I played a lot of games, I played a lot of like 60-hour plus games.
yeah, I don't get it. I mean, every
I
game
don't get
for
it
me is
either.
a 60-hour game, but
Yeah.
I have made. I mean, you guys know I don't buy a lot of games on release. I mean, like I'm a fucking Zelda shill, Zelda fanboy. Like we all know.
Are you sure?
so
I thought you
I-
hated Zelda.
I mean, every couple days I'm lately because of Nintendo. I'm like, what have I done to my body? I'm just a billboard for.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of this tattoo on March 31st.
Yeah, but so I went back
Yeah,
and
no, is that you fucking turned yourself into like a walking advertisement.
yeah. Anyway, moving past that, like I'm just getting a PS4 for realsies because you guys were nice enough, both of you, to say you'd give me your old one when you get a PS5, even though Aaron hasn't done that, and I'm still using Brayden's. But I went back and I played through Horizon Zero Dawn, and holy shit, did I fall in love with that game! You guys heard me just fucking
Yeah, you don't shut up about it.
the knob of Guerrilla Games for so long.
I'm ready for the tattoo cover up of Horizon over top of those Zelda tattoos after how much you talk about it.
I'm gonna do a face tattoo of Horizon. I'm gonna get the focus.
Of course you are.
Yeah, but that game was fucking unreal. By the time I finished my first playthrough, including DLC, I had 160 hours in it, and that's just one playthrough. And this is like a, I don't know, 20, 30-hour game, and I got everything. I did the platinum. All that I have left is, and it's not even I got the platinum because I was grinding. Like, I just enjoyed that game. I hardly fast traveled because I just loved running through the world and just in the gameplay loop of shooting machines and crafting new arrows and just leveling things up. I fucking loved it. It was like running from one side of the map to the other and then back was a treat. I do plan on going and doing New Game Plus on Ultra Hard because I want more time in that world. So that's probably my game of the year. But I had a contender, and that was Hollow Knight. I am a sucker for Soulsian games, and I've really become a fan of the Metroidvania style. Brayden has become a fan. We've talked about it, and my friend Owen got me into them a lot. Hollow Knight is amazing. I haven't finished it yet. I'm still doing some of the DLC. Troop Master Grimm is fucking hard.
Jesus, man.
Fucking hard. But I'm loving the game. Like,
Sorry. Troop Master Grimm is hard.
Yes, not even Nightmare King. Like, Troop Master Grimm is hard.
Oh man.
Yeah, like Nightmare King, I haven't even gotten there. And like I love doing the little shit in that game, like the flower quest of run from one side of the map to the other without getting hit once. Loved it. That was so much fun. Like, yeah, it took me like 2 hours to do it, but fuck, like that was awesome, and I feel good that I was able to do that. And like, I like that kind of difficulty stuff in games, but it's just fun to, have that, oh, I'm so close, I'm like 3 screens away and I got hit, and like wanting to go back and do it. Like, fucking great. Same with the White Palace. Fucking wonderful. Loved that game. Also played through Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, another Metroidvania. And there's a lot of problems with that game. But overall, I've really enjoyed it. I thought the combat system was interesting. It's classic, Symphony of the Night gameplay where you've got different weapon types and different power-ups and everything. But I liked that you could play it how you wanted to. I could use boots and kick the fuck out of people if I wanted to, or I could take a big fuck-off sword. And then, I figured out the best way to play it is just to shoot beams of light out of your hand at everybody and basically make it a twin-stick shooter. Fucking loved it. I think those are the 3 games I really played this year. I mean, I delved into a couple of indies like Downwell. I'm really bad at that game. The Swindle, I'm also really bad at that game. And then if I had an honorable mention, it'd be Breath of the Wild. Yes, I played it on release on Wii U and beat it. But as you guys know, I beat it. I did Calamity Ganon without doing a single Divine Beast or main story quest. I think I don't know, I had like the Master Sword and then switched all my hearts over, so I had 6 and everything else was in stamina. Basically, I only did like the final boss and nothing else in the game.
Why is this game only 3 hours?
Yeah. So this year I went back to it on Switch, and I'm doing Divine Beasts, and I've met Prince Sidon, and he's overrated. And that's my honorable mention because I'm playing it differently this time. But no, 100% game of the year for me is Horizon Zero Dawn, including the DLC of Frozen Wastes.
Frozen Wild.
Frozen Wild.
Frozen Wild. Thank you. That I couldn't stop. Like, that game was so immersive and pretty, and like talked about sound design before, and the snow. Oh man. I started like just running around the world, and I would change my armor set to Fashion Souls it, so my armor set made sense for the weather conditions I were in. Like, I didn't give a fuck about what the stats were. It's like, oh, I'm in the desert, I have to be wearing like cool desert clothes right now. Oh, I'm in the middle of a blizzard, I'm gonna be cold, I better put on my really warm furs. Like, so good. I just couldn't stop. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn, game of the year for me. Horizon Forbidden West, I'm very excited for. Just wait, in 5 years, I'm sure I'll have a glowing review of that as well. Now, before you get into your thing, I should say, for the Dialog Trees podcast, most hyped, anticipated, excited for a game is obviously Superhero PR Simulator 2020. In development now, coming sometime after 2021. It's going to be so good. You heard it here first, and we decided we're going to make it real. So
it's been in development since that first podcast.
Been in development for a month.
Yeah.
Fun shit.
Okay.
I have to.
Not only do I want to hear your game of the year, I want to hear your list of potential games.
Yeah, totally.
I want to hear what you played.
I actually want to lead up with my biggest disappointment of the year, because this is something that I thought for sure was going to nail game of the year. I bought Persona 5 Royal, got a nice chrome case for it, wonderful design, sat down, prepared to invest another 80 hours of my life into this $80 game. And I walked away getting not only frustrated with the original experience, but myself for having just bought the same game again. It really does show its age in today's modern age. It was cute when they did it for Persona 3 and 4, because those were games on the PS2. It was hard to update games on the PS2, so you just release it again. But looking back on what Royal introduces to the experience, nah, man. Nah.
Good.
Which
I
I
didn't buy that for full price. I'm proud of myself.
Oh, you're better off. It's not worth it. I don't think so.
Oh, Bruce?
I gotta do something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. So that's my biggest disappointment. My freak out that I just had a couple minutes ago is when I looked at my Steam list to see what I played this year, and I found out that I've been playing Disco Elysium at the start of 2020. Like, I literally have achievements for it from December 2019 to January 2020 of my first playthrough.
It counts.
It freaked me out realizing that I had played this game this year.
That's how shitty this year has been.
Yeah. But that's probably got to be on my list for Game of the Year, because that's the game I've definitely spent the most time thinking about afterwards, in terms of just telling a real and raw story about people and messed up relationships and messed up worlds. Disco Elysium is definitely my artistic statement of the year. I played Divinity Original Sin 2 after years of telling myself that I would. Found it to be a great time. Was it the best story in the world? Not really. Did it have the best turn-based gameplay? I think what it brought was just it was fun, and like the ability to mimic a tabletop RPG specifically is so good. Which is why Baldur's Gate 3, even in shitty early access, is great. It's just fun playing around in a tabletop simulator with like your computer friends and just have
Fucking
at her.
around.
Yep, it's great. Like Divinity is capable of doing some stupid shit in the game engine, but because the fact that it's all enabled and the world is so reactive, you can have fun with that. You can, throw a bottle of water at somebody while another character is talking to them and set it into electric blaze before you end a conversation that you know would end in a combat. You could go ahead and just like throw a stack of boxes onto each other and use that to reach something up at the very top of the world. Bruce got pissed at me because I just created a floating tower of crates and just brought it all over in our multiplayer game, and I just refused to let it go. Anyway, that was a great time. Crusader Kings 3 wasn't something that I particularly invested a lot of time in, especially when compared to like the 500 hours I have in Crusader Kings 2. I just think it's really cool that a company that was like very well known for at this point releasing piecemeal games and nickel and diming you for every bit of content to it, released a game that felt more complete than Crusader Kings 2 did after like 6 years of DLC. Like, this was a game that came out and was just like feature ready. It felt like all you needed to play was there. And the systems were so good. And it was like a way to make a title that I had invested, again, 500 hours in, feel fresh. And like,
Wish I had that time still.
Yeah. Kudos to Paradox for that.
Welcome back, Bruce.
Welcome back, Bruce. You missed most of the list.
We cannot hear you.
I heard all of
Oh,
that.
yes, we can.
Okay, cool. I played Stardew Valley after
Fantastic
my
game.
girlfriend. Yeah, well, so I got Animal Crossing earlier in the year because I thought it would be a nice like little break from what I usually play, and I ended up being really disappointed. It's like, yeah,
We got suckered.
yeah, there wasn't enough like gameplay systems for me to really enjoy. There wasn't enough reason to keep playing. And with Stardew Valley, I found that like I really dug the farming game.
Stardew is what Animal Crossing should have been.
Yeah. I really dug like figuring out the mechanics of like how best to run a farm, and like when I started really raking in that money because I had all those cows that I was milking every day and then throwing that shit and making cheese. Oh man. And I would take the fucking coffee beans and make like, be producing at all seasons of the year. So great. Invested a lot of stupid time into it, but it was great. I think 2020 game of the year.
I would like to point out, lately, I'll be, playing Breath of the Wild or something till like 2, 3 in the morning. Whatever, it's lockdown.
Just when you end the game is when I
will see the little boop on Switch that my friend has come online, and it's Brayden playing Stardew Valley, but he starts at 2 a.m. Why the fuck do you start gaming at 2 a.m.? And I know it's
nights, my friend.
A weird sleep schedule. Like you're self-employed. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Playing Stardew Valley.
Exactly.
Milking those cows, making that cheese.
This farm stops for no man.
Why aren't you up at 2 a.m. playing Stardew Valley?
Exactly. Get on board.
Playing Breath of the Wild.
Yes, the prime gaming hours is 2 to 5 a.m. But game of the year has to be Hades, just because I think it's like a really sweet story of early access that went perfectly and like made its release on Switch to a console where I really feel it belongs, and was a game that was just bursting with stuff to do and a sense of humor that was all its own and a sense of charm that was all its own. Like, I can't think of anything else that just made me feel as good and gooey as Hades did. And it was really like managed to tell a beautiful story while also delivering a very addictive gameplay loop that I was just super into. Yes, Bruce.
I'm sorry, you said it made you feel gooey, and I'm just picturing you, but like as a Cadbury cream egg in the commercial
fuck?
where like they like slingshot them into stuff, and you're just like flying through the air and then explode in sugary goo.
Yep, MX. I do that, except it's on Zagreus's chest, and I'm just like dripping down. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you made it weirder.
I did make it weirder. Hey man, that's what everybody who plays that game thinks. Dude is fucking hot.
It really gets the swims going.
It is by far in a game in a year filled with horny games. Hades is the horniest.
Is it hornier than Divinity 2?
Yes, it succeeds on that
Is
front.
it hornier than Baldur's Gate?
We have yet to tell from the slice of Baldur's Gate 3 that's available. No, but given that we have 2 acts left to go, we don't know what depths Baldur's Gate 3 will sink
That's
to.
fair. Divinity got horniest in Act 2
Yeah.
so far.
Oh man, you have no idea. All right. Anyway, that's my picks. That's my nom. Super Giants, Darren Corp. If if you're listening, thank you.
Do an interview with us. We'd love to have
Or
you.
just-
I have one
Or just
more.
get
I have one
coffee.
more.
If you're like busy, if you're like, there's nothing like, if you just want to hang out, just hit me up, like, ooh, I love your games. I'm
I love
simping.
it.
Leave me
There's
alone.
one more thing I would like to not really nominate, but acknowledge for what it's done for the gaming industry, and that is the Nemesis system. All around, just Nemesis system.
I was expecting Brayden to just leave the call. Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even need to say anything more. That's it.
Hey,
So
it's
that was,
it's
that
it's a
was the
good
bonus
system.
episode.
See, oh yeah, no, it's just me now. Okay, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out, I guess.